And a good spiritual morning to you once again. I'm Father Cosmas. Thanks for joining me today for a quick chat. And of course, our morning cup of coffee. And once again, I've got our travel mug here for a good spiritual morning. And today I wanted to talk about St. Andrew, because of course today being the 30th of November, we celebrate every year St. Andrew, the first called apostle. So it got me thinking about being apostolic and thinking about being an apostle. Conversations I've had recently at our church regarding the mission of the church and the church looking outward to expand its mission, right, beyond just Greek families or Orthodox families, but to try to welcome in all families, to really take our mission as apostles seriously. And we talk about that in the life of the church on a big scale a lot. But we don't talk about how to do it as individuals and as families. And that's something that's really important, because people will come up and say, well, am I supposed to go door to door and knock on people's doors and bother them and try to preach Christ to them? Am I supposed to be standing on a street corner and yelling about judgment and about salvation? And how do I do this? How do I go about evangelizing? How do I share my faith without just being obnoxious or annoying to people? Because that's kind of what we feel like. Well, if we do that, then it's got to take this form. And that's really not the case. The way that we can really evangelize and witness is just by sharing, right? Sharing where God provides opportunity. If you see an opportunity to just talk about your faith, you don't have to try to convince someone of anything. You're just sharing what you have, sharing something that you have, just talking about it in a way that's saying, oh, I'm doing this, or I do this. It's not sort of saying you should be doing this or why don't you do this. It's that using I language instead of you language, which is supposed to be less confrontational. And so that's the first thing I would say. You just share. And sharing is witnessing. You don't have to proselytize. You don't have to try to, ram it down someone's throat and sort of say, hey, you need to be doing this. No. This is what I do. Hey, this is what when there's opportunity in whatever circles you move in, to just share. And the second thing that I would say is that far too often, or more often than we want to admit, the first level of people we want to be witnessing to and sharing with is our own family and our own relatives. We all have relatives, family, friends that perhaps are already Orthodox that aren't going to church or could be going to church more. And so we talk about outreach. Let's reach out to people that aren't Christian or that aren't Orthodox. What about inreach? What about finding people that are Orthodox? For whatever reason, they're estranged or they're lapsed and they're not attending. Well, why aren't they attending? Sometimes they just need an invitation. Sometimes, just asking them, hey, you know what? You don't want to meet up at church and let's go out to lunch afterwards. Can I come and pick you up? Let's go to church and I'll take you out to lunch afterwards. Sometimes a simple invitation and welcoming someone. Rather than saying, hey, why aren't you going to church? Or, hey, why aren't you, I notice you're not on this list. Why aren't you doing this? Rather than, again, condemning or judging or attacking, share and invite and offer. And if it's turned down, that's okay. And you can have that conversation. Hey, is there a reason that you're not coming? Is there something I can do to help? It's wonderful. It's uplifting. We love going. You're missing out on something. Come with us. I'll come get you. We'll go out to lunch. We can meet up. Is there a problem? What's the problem? And a lot of times we think, oh, there must be a huge problem. There must be a big falling out. There must be something that happened. They don't get along with the priest or the parish council, or someone said something and there's a big, and 9 times out of 10, there's no problems. The problem is life. Life happens. People get distracted. It falls off of their radar. They get a little bit despondent, they get a little bit apathetic, they get a little bit lazy, and they just fall out of the practice. And they need a little help, a little nudge, a little boost, getting back into the practice of going. And so we want to witness, we want to evangelize, we want to be apostolic. We could start with our own. We could start with our own people. We need to reach out, absolutely. We also need to reach in and welcome people that should already be coming. For whatever reason, they're not. Share and witness and invite, and do it in a positive way, in a loving way, so that we can welcome people back to church and get them more actively building their relationship with Christ, and doing that each and every day. Amen.